Hello everybody and welcome back to another Ayoto Corporation video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Project Nimbus, which is currently in early access. Now Project Nimbus is basically a giant mech game, sort of in the same vein of Armored Core and that sort of thing. Specifically Armored Core 4 up, because Armored Core 1 through 3 had sort of the slower paced, more methodical Armored Core action, where Armored Core 4 had much higher flying, in very literal cases, action. Now, just before we look into the actual gameplay itself, the graphics options definitely need working on. It's nice that there's a bunch of options from very low to graphic card melting, but I would have liked some more options. For example, there's a lot of bloom going on, which personally I would like to turn off, or at least turn down. It's off in the very low setting, but in the high settings, and actually anything that's not very low, the bloom's turned on. So personally, I would like to be able to see that still like turned off and get like good textures and all that. Otherwise, graphics are pretty much normal. Only two languages though, English and Thai, which is a bit odd, but I believe the studio is actually from Thailand, so that makes more sense. Now, you can play this with a controller, but, okay, this is mouse movement right now. This is what happens when you use it with a controller. Yeah, basically it reads as a mouse. If I use both thumbsticks at once, it moves a bit faster, but still. It is not optimized for a controller. It controls better with a keyboard and mouse, actually, because you can aim better, and all the keys are mapped out nicely. Oh, that's another thing I would have liked. I would have liked rebindable keys. But all the keys are mapped out nicely, and you have the ability to switch between weapons and sub-weapons with a mouse wheel or number keys, which on the controller you have to do using a D-pad, which is a bit awkward. So, it works better with a controller, but I think it feels better on a keyboard. It feels better on a controller as compared to a keyboard, because then you can pull the trigger to actually get, like, the weapons firing, which always feels nice. Now, I'm just going to go into survival because, actually, I'll start with campaign. Why not? Yeah. There is, like, an actual storyline going through the whole thing. Like, a whole voice acting, like, plot lines, that whole deal going.
Which one do you want first?
Can I can't skip this?
I like stories with a happy ending.
We've got a new pilot.
Okay, I guess I can't skip this, so I will cut it as soon as I'm done talking. But, the storyline sort of jumps around from various different points of view. As far as I can tell, there's this point of view where you play as a soldier basically protecting a giant floating city. There's another one where you're playing as a soldier protecting some high-profile woman in a, like, prototype robot of some description. And then there's another point of view where you play as terrorists who are trying to do something or other. I'm not 100% sure, honestly.
Right here, Taipei 3 colony, near the border.
There we go.
To the west is UCN territory. Troop station.
Now, one of the things that I kind of don't like about this is, well, there's two things. But the first one is the scale of the robots. Like, you can sort of see it right there, how the robots are gigantic, and those are giant skyscrapers, and also show you a bit more. But because of the detail of the thing and the fact that it's sort of a floating city, which again I will show you in a moment. There we go. Okay. So, look at this. It's a giant floating city flying way over the oceans of the Earth. And take a look at how big this robot is comparatively. Like, let me see here. I should be able to find a road or something. Okay, like, look right here. I'll just sort of put myself down. You can kind of see how big this robot is compared to the city, but you never really get that sense of scale when you're playing in the game, because the game is too fast-paced, almost. You're flying around, you're locking on targets, you're shooting at stuff all over the place. All this stuff is going on all over the place, but you don't have a lot of time to pay attention to the surroundings because it's almost too fast-paced. Not to mention the fact that it's not very detailed to begin with. Guess I'll just kill all these guys while I'm here. Another thing that I hope they add in the future is the ability to customize your robot. Because as is, all the missions are heavily story-based, whereas in, say, Armored Core 3, all the missions were, like, basically missions. You had your own the story was you had your own robot, personalized, and you would take that on missions. Whereas this one, you've got robots that are given to you, so there's no real reason to customize them. But I would still like to have that. One of the cool things about having a giant mech game is having the ability to take the giant mech and then add, say, 2 giant cannons instead of arms, if you really want to, or having the whole thing fly around as a single artillery unit. You know, being able to sort of mess around with giant robots the size of buildings. Oh, okay, so missiles coming in. Ah, there it is. So, I have the ability to slow down time, and this is one of the really cool things. In bullet time, I can shoot down incoming missiles. Alternatively, I could just release flares, but that's less fun. Also, they have a much longer cooldown than the bullet time mode. Where? One problem, though, is that it's really hard to spot the missiles sometimes. So, see that red circle? That's the missile. I can't lock onto the missile or anything. So, I'd have to actually search it out. And another problem is that it's really hard to spot most of the time, especially on the white backgrounds, because the game takes place pretty much above the cloud line. So you have these really thin sort of red, like, look at that, I can't even see that missile anymore. I know it's there someplace. I'm getting chased by these missiles. I think I got him. Yeah, got him. Haha, shut down on the missiles. So, it's a really cool idea to be able to, like, shoot down missiles mid-flight, but the execution itself needs a bit more work, because, as is, I actually do have to physically aim at the missiles in order to get them in the targets, and if I miss, I will probably die, because missile spam is a thing in this game. Oh my god, is it a thing. Now, I don't only have this weapon. I do have micro-missiles, which I will just shoot now. And apparently he's underwater, which is why I can't hit him. Now, one of the cool things about missiles in this game, which is sort of like what happened in Strike Suit Zero, is you have the ability, like this is the lock-on button here, see that? If I hold down the lock-on button, I can target multiple targets as soon as I'm not being swarmed by missiles. Okay, let's see here. I have the ability to shoot multiple targets, and I'll have the missiles actually split off and attack them separately. So that's pretty cool. It's also cool later on when you get, like, the 100 swarm missiles, and you just see this giant swarm of things just coming towards the enemies. Now, I'm going to switch back to my thing and actually shoot down some enemies so I can progress. And can't tell how much. Okay, I'm at 81%. You see what I mean by the bloom? Like, playing on low might make this easier, but I don't want to play on low. I want to play at the best this can actually be.
Good job. Wait, stand by. Something's approaching at high speed. Listen up. The new enemy squadron is composed of Mi-24s. Their specs are comparable with your M3s. If you don't want to die, stick together.
Oh god, yeah, see what I mean? Just missile spam for days and you just die. Let me switch back to my micro missiles and try.
Our M1's getting slaughtered. Hey Skull, you better keep pushing that booster.
Got him. There's another one. Just get those missiles going. One thing is that the enemy can actually shoot their own missiles, your missiles down, rather.
It's the enemy.
Okay, there's 2 more. Boom. No, where's the last one? Ah, there they are. Come. Yeah, there's one down. Come. There we go. Managed to kill them all before I died.
Boss, what's for dinner?
Welcome to Matrill, Lieutenant Colonel Morgan Akeem.
Alright, now here's the next one where I get a cooler robot. Actually, I really wish I could skip ahead, so I will just cut here and zoom ahead to a part where I've got this robot available. Okay, after that little cutscene, you just get a new robot, which, again, has the 100 micromissile thing, and, more importantly, has sort of orbits. You know, those little robots that fly around your robot and you control them and they shoot things for you. It makes it almost easy at times, but then the bosses are sort of bullshit difficult. Anyway, there's also the survival mode, in addition to the campaign, which, again, I would have really liked having the ability to customize robots on. As is, once it loads up, you have the ability to select from a bunch of different robots that you would just see in the game. For example, where is it? One of these robots is, like, this is the standard one, I think, that you were playing as before. Not sure. This one's kind of cool looking. The Gripen Typhoon. Yeah, this is the one that was, the really cool one. Actually, I'll just use this. But again, this would have been perfect for a sort of customized mode. You build your own robot, you build it with lots of micromissiles, you build it with guns over, so it's shooting everything. It would have been cool. But as is, no, you just pick from a bunch of different robots who are all alright, but it's not personalized.
All threats neutralized.
Now, here's the other thing I kind of didn't like. The game, it feels almost empty. Like, going back to Armored Core 3 again, which, again, I love that game, so... Armored Core 3, you were always in some environment that had something going on. Very rarely were you in, like, a desert. And all the time, you were sort of tied to the ground, so you could get a scale of how big things were in the scale of battles. In this game, you're flying around in the open skies for most of it. Like, that city is one of the only few set pieces. There's another one which is the inside of a jail, which is... It's alright, it's kind of bland, but whatever. Indie game. Yep. Oh, cool, I picked up my railgun now. Oh yeah, so let's see, there's the big city, which you just fly around for the most part. There's not a whole lot of flying into city or like walking around the city. It's just kind of a big block that you have to avoid sometimes when you're fighting things. There's one where you have to fly through a facility, which is okay. There's the other one where you have to like get out of a jail as a terrorist, and that's alright as well, but again, it's nothing special. They're just kind of big corridors that you have to walk around. No real complexity, nothing really interesting when you're running around the cities. You can't jump up on a building and get a height advantage on someone or something like that, because all robots are always flying all the time. And then there's a lot of levels which are just big open areas. Like, I think the last area in Act 1 is just a giant robot that you're fighting, like a giant sort of orbital cannon thing, over the open ocean. So there's only two things present. There's you and the giant robot, and very occasionally there's the thing the giant robot shoots at you. Let me see when I can get my orbit things out. Should be a wave or two from now. I don't know where it is. But yeah, it does feel good for what's here. Like, everything feels fine. The controls are fine. I do wish there was a bit of remapping available, just because in order to go up, you have to press Y on the controller. In order to go down, you have to press A on the controller, and I feel like that's a bit clunky. But everything else feels okay for the most part. It's just that some of the design decisions about the game itself I wish I could change. Like, the level designs, again, a bit bland, because for the most part, they're either open ocean or just there's a big thing in the middle that you have to kind of deal with. The robot design's alright. There's a lot of there's plenty of weapons, but I wish... Oh, there goes my smart missiles. Wee. Yeah, clear out this way for me, missiles. Oop. Oh yeah, there's a sword on this one. Got him.
Missiles ready.
Smart missiles launched. Huh. Let me see, I have to press 5 to actually launch these things. So now, yeah, now I just basically point and click, and then the things die. It's actually pretty nice. Ah. Now I can just sit here and target things until my little drones go and kill everything for me. Doo-doo-doo.
Decoy is online.
Smart missiles ready. Psycho drone is now usable. Funnels deployed.
Doo-doo.
New enemy wave approaching. Prepare to engage. High-performance battle frame detected. Be advised, the USS Manhattan-class literal combat ship is an attacking force.
Oh, there's an actual ship. Which appears to be more like a seaplane or something.
Funnels deployed. All psycho drones shot down.
Oh, that's not cool. Well, it looks like I'm almost dead anyway, so I'm taking you down with me. I'll see you. No, I was targeting the wrong thing. Nope. Oh well. Okay, well, that was pretty much Project Nimbus. It's alright. Like I said, it's in early access, so there's plenty of room to work with. Things I would like to see are better expanded options instead of just this. The ability to customize your robots. And, I mean, I can't really say add more environments and add, like, make the robots walk on the ground, because that's just changing the game entirely, but that's just my preference. Anyway, it's $15 on Steam. Go check it out if you want. It's, yeah, like I said, it's pretty good. I'll probably take a look at it more in the future once it's actually released to see how things have changed, see what they've added. Hopefully that stuff from before will be in there and it'll be a pretty good game. Anyway, this has been Ayoto Corporation. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.